Welcome back to Twisted Ties, the podcast where we unravel the knots in the most tangled relationships. Tonight, we're diving deep into situations that make you question everything you thought you knew about love and commitment. First up, we have a listener who's caught in a web of his wife's making, and trust me, it's a doozy. This guy, let's call him Mark. He's 29, living in the city, happily married, or so he thought, to his wife, Lisa, also 29. 10 years together, 3 years married, solid marriage, great sex life, the whole 9 yards. Then, out of the blue, Lisa starts acting weird. It begins innocently enough. A casual question, seemingly out of left field. One night, Lisa asks Mark, point blank, if there's any of their mutual friends he finds attractive. Mark, being a good husband, tells her, "Honey, you're the only one for me. I don't even look at other women." But Lisa, she's persistent. She says she's serious. She really wants to know names. Mark, uncomfortable, refuses. He insists there's no one, but Lisa keeps pushing, pressing, until finally, cornered, he blurts out a name. Just one. A friend, Sarah, who's 27, part of their circle. Big mistake, Mark. Huge mistake. Because Lisa's eyes light up and she asks, "Would you sleep with her?" Mark, completely thrown, says, "Of course not. What are you even talking about?" But Lisa, she's not letting it go. She twists the knife. "But if we weren't married? If you weren't with me?" Mark, trying to shut it down, still says no. Lisa accuses him of lying. The pressure mounts. The questions keep coming, until Mark, exasperated, just cracks. He says, "Fine. Hypothetically, if he wasn't madly in love with her, maybe, just maybe, he might consider Sarah. He's just trying to end the interrogation, right?" Wrong. This is just the beginning. Fast forward a few months, and Sarah's name keeps popping up. Lisa starts comparing herself to Sarah constantly. "Sarah's got a better body than me, doesn't she? Sarah's more stacked than I am." Mark, bless his heart, keeps reassuring her, telling her she's beautiful, she's perfect, but Lisa doesn't believe him. She seems almost angry that he admitted to finding Sarah attractive, even hypothetically. He gets this sinking feeling that Lisa's jealousy, which he thought he'd diffused, is now simmering, hotter than ever. Then, 3 weeks ago, the bomb drops. Lisa casually suggests, "Hey, why don't we all hang out? You, me, and Sarah. Maybe you and Sarah should get together." Mark is floored. "What are you saying?" he asks, completely bewildered. Lisa says, all innocent-like, "I know you want to sleep with her. You said you thought she was better looking. I understand. I wouldn't even care if you guys slept together just once." Mark is now officially freaked out. He tells Lisa she's talking crazy, that he's not interested in Sarah, that this whole thing is insane. But Lisa doubles down. She says, "No, seriously, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I really think you should do it. Just accept my offer." Mark refuses again and again. He asks her point blank, "Why are you doing this? What's going on in your head?" Lisa's answer, "It's not some weird fetish," she says. "I just want you to be satisfied." Satisfied? Mark is anything but. He tells her firmly, "Lisa, I don't want to sleep with anyone else. Ever. Just you. But Lisa is relentless. She keeps pushing, day after day. She even drops the bombshell that Sarah is open to it, if Mark is. Open to it. Lisa actually talked to Sarah about this. Mark is beyond confused. He's starting to feel betrayed. He's tempted, just to make the nagging stop, to give in and do this crazy thing, just to get some peace. But the thought of sleeping with Sarah or anyone else, honestly, makes him feel sick. He loves Lisa. He only wants Lisa. But Lisa, the woman he loves, is practically begging him to sleep with her friend, a friend she's clearly jealous of. It's a twisted, bizarre situation, and Mark is lost. He reached out to us, desperate for answers, desperate for a way out of this mind-bending maze. So what does Mark do? He decides to confront Lisa, head on. He spends hours crafting a message, pouring his heart out, making sure she understands, beyond a shadow of a doubt, how he feels. He tells her, "Lisa, I love you more than anything. You are my world. I don't want anyone else. I promised you forever, and I meant it. Sarah means nothing to me compared to you. Please, just tell me why you're doing this. Even if it hurts, I need to know. We can work through anything, but I need honesty." That night, after work, he sits Lisa down, and he reads her his message. And Lisa, she breaks. The tears start flowing, a torrent of emotion. She sobs, apologizing, saying she's so sorry. She can't help it, she's just broken. Mark holds her, comforts her, cries with her. And finally, when the tears subside, Lisa tells him the truth. And it's not what anyone expected. No cheating, no secret affair, nothing like that. It's the opposite. Lisa confesses she thought Mark would be the one to stray. She says, "I thought you'd rather mess around with Sarah because she wouldn't try to steal you from me." Mark is stunned. "Steal me? Lisa, why would you ever think anyone could take me from you?" Lisa's voice is shaky, filled with insecurity. "We've been together 10 years, Mark. We've only ever been with each other. I thought you'd get bored. I thought you'd want someone new." She's terrified, convinced that after all this time, Mark is going to get restless, that he's going to leave her for someone younger, someone different. She admits she feels unattractive, that she's gained weight, which Mark hadn't even noticed or cared about, and she's worried she can't keep him satisfied in bed forever. She's convinced she's losing her edge. Mark is heartbroken. He tells her over and over how beautiful she is, how amazing she is in bed, that she blows his mind every single time. He swears to her that he'll never get bored of her, that she's the only woman he'll ever want, even if they never had sex again. Lisa cries harder, burying her face in his shoulder, saying she can't believe he still wants her after a decade. Mark reassures her again and again, pouring his love into every word, every touch. They talk for hours, finally reaching a fragile peace. Mark encourages Lisa to get therapy, to work through these deep-seated insecurities. They decide to try couples counseling too, just to strengthen their bond and navigate this unexpected emotional minefield. It seems like a happy ending, or at least the beginning of one. But we always advise caution. Could Lisa's insecurity truly be the only reason behind this bizarre proposition? Or was there something else going on? Something she wasn't revealing? Maybe she wanted Mark to sleep with Sarah so she could feel free to explore something else. Guilt-free. We've seen it all before on Twisted Ties. But for Mark and Lisa's sake, we truly hope this is genuine, that they can heal and build an even stronger relationship. We wish them the best, and we'll be watching to see how their story unfolds. All right, folks, that was a wild ride, right? But hold on, because we've got another story coming up that's just as twisted, maybe even more so. This one's about an ex who just can't let go, and the chaos he unleashes on his former girlfriend's new relationship. Buckle up, it's gonna be bumpy. Our next listener, let's call her Jessica, 24 years old, living in Brooklyn, found herself in a relationship roller coaster with her ex, David, 28. 4 years together. A love story that started strong but quickly turned toxic. Jessica knew it was bad, had known for a long time, but love, or maybe just habit, kept her hanging on. Towards the end, things seemed to get a little better. They went on vacation, even talked about moving in together, but the toxic patterns were still there, lurking beneath the surface. David's temper was like a switch, flipping from charming to explosive in seconds. He'd hang up on her in arguments, ignore her for days, punish her with silence. Then came the final straw, a fight that escalated into a full-blown meltdown. He blocked her number, cursed her out, and told her to lose his number for good. In anyone's book, that's a breakup. Jessica, finally free, finally done with the drama, took him at his word. She deleted his number, started to heal, started to rebuild her life, piece by painful piece. Months went by. Then something unexpected happened. Jessica reconnected with an old friend, someone she'd known for years. Friendship blossomed into something more, something healthy, something happy. This new relationship, with a guy we'll call Michael, was everything her relationship with David wasn't. Calm, supportive, filled with respect. Jessica felt like she could finally breathe again. But the universe, or maybe just David, had other plans. 2 days after Jessica and Michael made it official, David reappears. Not with a text, not with a call, but through his mother's Facebook account. Dramatic, right? He sends Jessica a long, rambling message, filled with goodbyes and declarations of undying love. Talk about mixed signals. Then the drama escalates. Jessica leaves her apartment, and when she returns, there's a pile of stuff on her doorstep. Everything Jessica had ever bought David, dumped unceremoniously at her door. Talk about a grand gesture, a passive-aggressive symphony of, I'm over you, but also look what you're missing. Jessica, unfazed, messages him back, keeps it short, keeps it civil, says her piece, and says goodbye again. She thinks that's the end of it. Wrong again. A few days later, David's friend calls Jessica, saying David is a mess, not eating, not sleeping, spiraling out of control. Jessica, being the empathetic person she is, feels a pang of guilt. She calls David to check on him, just to make sure he's okay. One call leads to another, and before she knows it, Jessica finds herself meeting David in person. Big mistake, Jessica. Huge mistake. David pulls out all the stops. He tells her he wants her back. He loves her. He's changed. He's learned his lesson. And then the kicker. He says he'll marry her. Marry her. After 4 years of toxic chaos, after breaking up with her in a screaming match, now he wants to marry her. Jessica is floored. Marriage was something she'd wanted for years with David, something she'd hinted at, pleaded for, but he'd always brushed it off, kept her dangling. And now, suddenly, when she's moved on, when she's happy with someone else, marriage is on the table. The timing is suspicious, to say the least. Jessica cautiously tells David he has a lot of work to do on himself, and so does she. She suggests maybe down the line, if they both change, if they both heal, maybe they could revisit things. Maybe in a year or 2, she says, thinking to herself, okay, if you really want marriage, I'll consider it, but only if the toxicity is gone, truly gone. David predictably gets angry that she has a boyfriend, angry that she's moved on. He accuses her of infidelity, conveniently forgetting that he broke up with her. The emotional manipulation is classic David. He starts sending her heart emojis, then gets furious when she doesn't respond immediately. He creates fake social media profiles to stalk her Instagram. Jessica, trying to keep things calm, trying to be reasonable, tells him she just wants to be friends, maybe work their way back slowly, if that's even possible. Then, things take a dark turn. David sends her a screenshot, a photo of Jessica and Michael at a friend's party. He's been spying on her. He unleashes a barrage of insults, cussing her out, blowing up her phone with angry texts, even threatening her, vaguely, menacingly, and then the ultimate betrayal. David somehow gets Michael's cousin's phone number and starts texting him, spreading lies about Jessica, lies designed to destroy her new relationship. After begging Jessica to come back, after promising her marriage, he's now actively trying to sabotage her happiness. He tells Michael's cousin that Jessica went to his car and did stuff with him, completely false, that she was planning to break up with Michael, another lie, and just a whole web of fabricated nonsense. He even fabricates text messages, trying to make it look like Jessica was leading him on, cheating on Michael. Jessica is devastated, heartbroken, and furious. She has to show Michael the real text messages, explain the whole toxic history with David, defend herself against these ridiculous accusations. Michael, thankfully, is understanding. He sees through David's pathetic attempts at sabotage. He trusts Jessica. But the whole ordeal leaves Jessica feeling shaken, violated, and deeply disturbed. It's like David can't stand the idea of her being happy without him. If he can't have her, no one can. It's possessive, it's controlling, it's textbook toxic behavior. Jessica is left with the chilling realization. David hasn't changed at all. He's still the same manipulative, volatile person he always was. He's just changed his tactics. He realizes that being nasty and abusive isn't working anymore, that Jessica isn't reacting the same way. So now, he's trying a different game, playing on her empathy, her guilt, her past feelings. He's wearing a new shirt, but underneath, it's still the same toxic game. Jessica knows this deep down. She sees it clearly now, but the emotional scars from their past relationship run deep, and sometimes, in moments of weakness, she still finds herself romanticizing what could have been, what she thought their relationship was supposed to be. But the reality is, it was always a fantasy, a mirage built on broken promises and toxic cycles. Jessica needs to stay strong, stay focused on her new relationship with Michael, and keep David blocked, far, far away from her life. This is a classic case of an ex who can't stand to see his former partner move on, and who will stop at nothing to try and drag her back down with him. Stay vigilant, Jessica. Stay strong, and don't let David win. And finally, for our last story tonight, we have a listener who's caught in a different kind of relationship drama, this time involving his girlfriend and his sister. Get ready for some sibling rivalry, jealousy, and a whole lot of miscommunication. Our listener, let's call him Ethan, 26 years old, living in New York City, is dealing with a girlfriend, Ashley, 25, who's convinced his sister, Chloe, 24, is obsessed with him. Yes, you heard that right. Obsessed. It all started after Chloe visited Ethan last weekend. Now, for some background, Ethan and Chloe have always been close. Growing up in upstate New York, they were inseparable, sharing everything, from secrets to dreams to a similar, quirky sense of humor. They have the same taste in music, the same political views, the same appreciation for art house movies. Ethan always saw it as a strong sibling bond, Chloe looking up to him as her older brother. He cherishes their connection, always has. But Ashley, his girlfriend of 9 months, sees things differently. Ashley has met Chloe 3 times, and each time it's ended in disaster. Seriously, catastrophic fights, relationship-threatening blowouts. They've actually broken up twice because of these sister visits. Ashley feels like Ethan and Chloe are deliberately excluding her when Chloe comes to town. She wants to be included in everything, every single minute of their sister-brother time. But Ethan and Chloe, they already have their own traditions, their own plans when Chloe visits. They like to explore the city, hit up their favorite coffee shops in the village, wander through Central Park, take photos of the city skyline, just catch up and reconnect. It's their thing, and that's where Ashley's accusations come in. She says Chloe is weirdly obsessed with Ethan. She points to the fact that they spent the whole weekend together, just the two of them, drinking coffee, sightseeing, going to rooftop bars for city views, even dressing alike, both in flannels and beanies because it was a chilly fall weekend. Ashley says it's something a couple would do, not siblings. Ethan tries to reason with her, asking if it would be different if it was his brother visiting. But Ashley is fixated on Chloe. She's convinced Chloe hates her, wants nothing to do with her, and is actively trying to sabotage their relationship because she's jealous of sharing Ethan's attention with another woman. Ashley even goes so far as to say Chloe is the reason Ethan's previous 2 relationships ended. Ethan is caught in the middle, torn between his girlfriend and his sister. He genuinely doesn't see anything inappropriate or obsessive about his relationship with Chloe. They're just close siblings, sharing common interests, enjoying each other's company. He tries to include Ashley. He really does. They made plans to all hang out together. They even surprised Ashley at her job one night during Chloe's visit. But nothing seems to be enough for Ashley. She's convinced herself of this narrative that Chloe is a threat, that she's trying to steal Ethan away, and it's poisoning their relationship. Ashley spends the entire weekend in a horrible mood. picking fights over text, acting cold and distant in front of Chloe, creating this tense, awkward atmosphere. Ethan is at his wit's end. He loves Ashley, but he also loves his sister and values their close bond. He knows Ashley struggles with anxiety and OCD, which he thinks definitely amplifies her insecurities and makes her reactions more intense. But he's starting to wonder if this relationship can even survive Ashley's jealousy and paranoia. Is it really so weird for siblings to be close? Is it really so threatening for a girlfriend to see her boyfriend spending time with his sister? Ethan is genuinely confused and hurt. He just wanted to enjoy a weekend with his sister, show her his new city life, reconnect with family. Instead, he's walking on eggshells, trying to navigate a minefield of insecurity and accusations. It sounds like Ashley's jealousy is the real problem here, not Chloe's perfectly normal sibling affection for her brother. Hopefully, Ethan and Ashley can have an honest conversation, maybe with a therapist, to address these deep-seated insecurities before they completely derail their relationship. Because losing both his girlfriend and his sister over this misunderstanding would be a tragedy. Sometimes, the most twisted ties aren't between lovers or enemies, but within families, strained by jealousy and misinterpretations. Let's hope Ethan, Ashley, and Chloe can untangle this knot before it's too late.